Oh, hello guys, how are we doing? 15th of October 2012. This is 50 Pips doing a little update on Euro. Again guys, I'm sorry, I was supposed to try and post some stuff over the weekend. I did the videos, but I had some tech issues, just unable to get them to work and upload them properly. So I'll try and do them again throughout the course of the week. So here's the Euro one, okay? So what's going on Euro? I think the focus for the week remains the chart we have been talking about quite a few times, and it's basically the action revolving around the 200-day moving average. So we had this rotation back up, okay, and what we discussed was basically the fact that the market kept on finding buyers at these 2850s and trying to rotate high, basically rejecting this 2850s. We talked about these in the weekly sessions quite a lot of times, basically these buying 2850s with stops behind that 28 level for rotations back up. But as long as this 200 moving average holds, most likely the market will be positioned in buy dips mode for this rotation all the way back up into these 3430s, 3490s, okay? And I think the two main levels to watch for the week are to the downside. Should we break and hold below those 2850s, watch what happens if we approach the 2740s, 2750s, because we might get a false break to the downside and then still find buyers to rotate back higher. Maybe this trend line that was previous resistance acting as support down here at this 2740, so that might be say ultimate support for the week. So as long as we base there, we could still be rotating higher. However, if we break below that and we hold, then I would definitely be looking at a fact of a possible acceleration all the way back into 26s, okay? And to the upside equally, if we continue this rotation up quite aggressively, keep an eye at what happens at those previous highs, which are coming in at the 3170s, okay? Another Momo line, bull bear line, hold above, then we expect to see the aggressive rotation into the 34 areas. If we fail once again, well then, another failure, we'd be looking at a move right back into the 2850s. Of course, not to happen in the next 5 minutes, but, for the market to try and rotate back into there, okay? As we go into London flows this morning, I think another way of looking at it is basically these on the 1 hour chart, right? And you see that every time, what we discussed on the other chart, every time we came back down, the market's been finding buyers inside 2850s, right? Can't break below the 2800. So no matter how aggressive the move has been into this level, we keep on finding buyers, okay? So that's really short term. That's the level to watch as support into the week, okay? 2850 into 2800. And to the upside, what you want to keep an eye out for is that 3020s into those 3070s, okay? One thing to keep an eye out here is that as we're going into the open, we had a breakdown during Asia, but you see that the 50 back of this most recent move, lows to highs, is still holding. Okay, so as long as this holds, we've still got a chance for the market to try and push higher. And what you would expect here is that basically the market's broken down, tested those lows overnight. No real news as far as I've seen. So most participants will be thinking that this is a good time to get in and for that base to hold for us to continue higher. So as we go into London Open, if the market can't break those lows and can't trigger any kind of follow through or any kind of reaction below those 2880s, well then this is a fib play that's in move, right? The traditional fib players are going to be looking at this as just get this up, bam, buy into those 29s, that stop behind that 2800, looking for this to rotate back up to take a stab at previous highs 2960s, break into 2990s, and then to complete the 123 extension at 130.30s. Okay, so you see here, because we're live right here, so you see the market's really coiling here, looking, if we get positive, this looks like it wants to call for a rotation higher. Okay, now to put this into perspective, just to give you another view of these levels, and then I'm going to have to go off because I'm actually have some positions on I'm trading, but I wanted to put something out this morning because for some reason everything didn't work. If you step back on the 4-hour chart, this is another way of looking at it, right? We have rotated up off those lows to highs. We've come back this level, these 2850s into 2800s have been holding. So the market is front running the 50 back here for an aggressive move higher here. So you see this base. This is why it's so important, and we can look at it here, we can look at it on the other chart. As long as we hold here, the market will have a tendency to want to break higher. If we break, well, then that's why we discuss the fact that we've got these 26s in play to the downside. But at the moment, as long as we're holding here, the market's clearly going to try and take a stab higher. Okay, so this is really interesting open now. And to give you a bit more outlook, if you go back on the daily, you see what happens here is that you can see the confluence of all these fibs, that this rotation back up, this current move, lows to highs, that's getting front run. The 123 extension brings us back all the way into the 50 back of the opposing move from highs to lows. So there's a lot of nice confluence, a lot of levels lining up, which is also in line with this previous high here. So it's we've got a lot of very nice structure on this chart. So I think it's going to be an interesting week on Euro. And again, keep in mind that this is where we lied this morning going into the open. It's all about this resistance up here, trying to cap this 50 pip range to the upside, 30.30s to 30.70s, and this 50 pip range to the downside, 20.50s and 20.00s. Okay, so guys, I hope that was interesting. I'm gonna have to get off and get back to work for the week, but it was important for me to put something out since I didn't manage to post everything else due to the technical issues, unfortunately. But have a great day, have a great trading week. See you on Twitter, see you on the blog. Have an awesome one. Okay, bye bye guys.